But anyway, that's it. We shouldn't be talking about hockey in June. It's ridiculous.
We really shouldn't be, especially this late in June.
It's ridiculous, Willis.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
We arrived in December and London was cold. We stayed in the bars along Charing Cross Road. We never saw nothing but brass taps and no.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I'm, of course, Andrew, and I'm again joined by Mark Chancey. Welcome back to the show.
You caught me right in the middle of a sip. Couldn't you time that any better? Hang on. All right. How are you?
Good.
I want to start by saying thanks for cutting the lawn yesterday.
I wasn't here yesterday to do that.
Oh, you didn't cut the lawn?
No.
Right. But thanks for thinking about it, maybe?
No.
No. You're 15 now, boy. It's time for you to start cutting the lawn.
I did cut the front lawn last year a little bit.
I do. I have video of it.
Yeah, you do.
The back is the challenge.
Someday we should show that video.
The back is the challenge.
It is indeed.
That was Spirit
of the West.
A song called Home for a Rest. Takes me back 30 years to my days hanging out on George Street. You know, years ago, and maybe it's still the same, I don't know. There's a Jungle Gyms on George Street. And it had kind of a lower area. It was called Gators.
Right.
Had a bar and a dance floor. Is it still there? Do you know? How would you know? You're 15. You better not know.
I've walked George Street once.
And you took it all in.
Yeah.
And when that song would come on, the place would go nuts.
Right.
Now, I'm talking about Friday and Saturday nights. There's that many people in there, you couldn't reach into your pocket to get something because the people were that close to you, jammed into you. And you know that song starts kind of slow?
It does.
Well, how does it go?
You'll have to.
No. Yes.
Excuse me.
Really slow, so you kind of saunter around the dance floor, back and forth a little bit. And then when it hits, it's just everybody jumping up and down.
Yeah.
There was a couple other songs by Great Big Sea, and I can't remember what they were. Same thing. As soon as they came on, it was jump up and down for 4 straight minutes.
Yeah.
And then you'd be out of breath and wait for the next one.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So, all good.
It's all good.
What did else? Did I have anything else to say before I throw it back to you? I probably should, but I don't think so. What are we doing today, my son?
Well, today we're playing a game.
A game? You say a game? Hang on. Okay. I'm on the ball today, Andrew.
We are.
I am on the ball today. What game are we playing today, my friend?
Buying or selling Blue Jays edition. Before we get into this, though.
Before we get into this, we have not played buying or selling for a long time.
We have not.
And you know how I know that?
How?
We started doing the YouTube podcast in March.
Right.
We don't have a graphic for this game.
We don't.
So that means we have not played it since before we started doing the video podcast.
That's true. Actually, I think like the first one we did, we played it, but I don't think we had a graphic for it at that point.
So this is the buying and selling Blue Jay edition. Hang on.
Yeah.
I want to point out, one of your grandmothers,
Yes.
Nana,
Yes.
doesn't like when you talk smack or talk negative about her Blue Jays.
That's true.
So keep that in mind.
And we'll keep it in mind.
Are you going to be able to pull that off today?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I really
Nana,
can't.
if you're watching
I
or
can't.
listening, you may want to hit the mute button.
I can't.
I will be as positive as I usually am.
I don't know how you can be positive with the Blue Jays. But before we get into any of that,
Oh, okay.
I have a tweet here that I want to read.
A tweet from the Twitterverse.
From Sexy Sid Sixero.
Oh, what's Sid up to now?
See, this is about Jacob Markstrom, who got traded to the Devils.
All right, yep.
And the head coach of the Devils, the new head coach of the Devils, is Sheldon Keefe.
I know him.
Yeah, I do too. And Sid said this: Sheldon Keefe has been in New Jersey for like a month and already has a better goalie than he ever had with the Maple Leafs.
That is true.
That's true.
And Sid tweeted that. I was driving to work one morning thinking that.
It's true.
That Sheldon Keefe must think he hit the lottery.
He probably did.
He gets to go to New Jersey, who are going to be a pretty good team. Had a bit of a bad year last year, but a lot of young stars on that team. Kind of a smaller market. Won't have nearly the media pressure or whatever you want to call it as you would in Toronto. So he can just do his thing, not have to worry so much about what he says or how he says it. And he has a goaltender.
He now has a goaltender.
A bona fide number one goaltender in Jacob Markstrom.
Who was not very happy in Calgary, I don't believe.
No, I think they may have blown that one there, but
Yeah.
who knows? And while we're on hockey, the reverse sweep could take place Monday night.
Monday night.
So I wasn't really going for anybody because I don't care.
No.
I'm not about this bring the cup to Canada crap. That doesn't.
No.
that means
If it's not
nothing
my
to me.
team, I don't care.
Right. But like Edmonton at this point, you kind of have to win now.
Yeah.
You can't
mean-
come back from 3-0 and then lose in Game 7.
I'm shocked at how Florida's played over his last 3 games. It is a shock to me.
Well, I think Edmonton's played better, and Florida hasn't played as well, and their goaltender hasn't been so hot.
No, but we know Stuart Skinner.
And Skinner has stepped up the last 3 games. Question is, does he return to form and blow Game 7?
You never know.
I think it's going to be a tight game, and I don't think Florida's going to pull it out.
Really?
I don't know.
I'm still thinking Florida
Edmonton-
might do it.
Edmonton's rolling. They may. I don't know. It's a
It would be kind of funny if they
How do
lose
you
in
go up
7.
3-0 and then lose 3 straight and like you haven't even been competitive for most of the games I've seen.
I don't know.
The last 3. But anyway, that's it. We shouldn't be talking about hockey in June. It's ridiculous.
We really shouldn't be, especially this late
It's
in June.
ridiculous, Willis. No, you don't know what that reference
No, I do.
is
It's
to?
Different Strokes.
Hey, how do you know that? Have you seen Different Strokes? What you
That's
talking about,
one of
Willis?
the, I haven't seen that one.
What you talking about, Willis? That was that took me back even more.
we
Anyway,
got a game to get into.
okay, that's enough of that. So that's the show. We'll see you next week, right?
No, we still got.
So this is buying or selling positive Blue Jays edition,
I don't know about positive.
just for Nana.
I don't know about that positive.
Well, you may not be getting any more presents from Nana if you don't
I might not.
smarten up, eh?
Well, while we're on the Blue Jays, before I read my first statement here,
Yeah.
they're currently in the midst of a series against the Guardians in Cleveland, and then they go to Boston to play the Red Sox. But they've lost their last 2.
I can't get enough of that coffee. I'm almost done the whole mug, and we just started.
They got swept by the Red Sox at home, and now they've already lost the series to Cleveland. They lost Friday night 7-1 after the Guardians scored 7 runs in the bottom of the second. And they lost yesterday 6-3. They could get swept for a second series in a row today.
How is this positive? Did you not understand the rules?
I'm reviewing the team's
Oh,
performance.
Okay. This is you're not putting any opinion in here.
And they go to Boston again after this series, which it could be another sweep. You never really know. And then after that, they go home to play the Yankees. So this is not going to be a fun stretch for the Blue Jays. And everybody, and I mean everybody, has had enough of this front office and wants them gone. And they say, how fitting would it be if they got fired in Cleveland, of all places? The front office that came from Cleveland.
The front office isn't going first, though.
I would doubt it. I would
Right.
doubt it.
I don't even know what to say. It was 6 weeks ago yesterday
Wow.
that Ross Atkins
Time flies.
had his press conference to tell us all about the time and talent they had to turn it around. Right? They were 4 games under 500 6 weeks ago. What are they now?
They're 35-40, or 35-41.
Yes, they're 6 games under 500. So they're worse now than they were 6 weeks ago when he said we had the time and talent to turn it around. Do we still have the time and talent to turn around? If the Blue Jays want to get to 89 wins this year, from this point, which 89 wins got them the 3rd wild card spot last year, they have to play 6-13 baseball.
They're not doing that.
They are not doing that.
Meanwhile, the Guardians, who are playing right now, they're 22 games over 500, and they have a significantly less payroll
They're
than the
good.
Blue Jays.
They're good. That Quan in the leadoff spot is unbelievable.
Yeah, and
they
Jose
have
Ramirez is
who
fantastic.
has like 70 RBIs already. They're good, but they also have the benefit of being in a weaker division.
They do, yeah. The AL East is a very competitive division.
Right? AL East is the toughest one in baseball, no doubt
Yep.
about it. And the Blue Jays are not, here we go again, something in my throat, are not in a position to compete in the American League East. And
Not
it
at
doesn't
all.
look like they will be for the foreseeable future. So that is a long intro into buying or selling
Ready for the first statement?
Blue Jays edition. I'm ready for the first statement. I'll show you how ready I am.
The drum roll. There we go. I was wondering if it was gonna
Give me a chance to clear my throat
All right.
with the noise.
buying or selling. Mm-hmm. If the Blue Jays lose this series, well, they've already lost this series. If the Blue Jays get swept against Cleveland, I guess we could say, John Schneider will be fired. Because I wrote down lose this series. They've already lost the series, so I guess we can say swept. John Schneider will be fired.
What do they do after this? They go to Boston?
They go to Boston.
Then what?
Then they go home and play the Yankees.
Home to New York?
Yep.
I think if they're making a managerial change like that, they're going to do it on the road. You tend
I
to
would
do that
assume,
when
yeah.
your team's away from home. But I got a feeling he'll get the benefit of at least a couple of games in Boston. And you know how this goes, right? They win one of those, and everybody forgets it again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think the cycle's broken now. I don't think that cycle continues. Now, at this point, I don't see that cycle.
Well, buying or selling, if they lose, if they get swept, if they lose today, no matter what happens today, you're asking if John Schneider will be fired.
Yeah.
Not in the immediate future. I could see it possibly later in the week. It won't be a result of this series. It will be more like they go to Boston, they lose that one, or they lose the first two. But I'm going to say I'm buying the fact that Schneider will be let go this week.
Yeah.
And if they continue to play like that this week, and he's not, I have to think, is it Blue Jays Nation? What do we call ourselves?
I think we call them Blue Jays Nation.
Blue Jays fans will start to get a little bit irritated by the lack of action, because there has been none other than to bring up everybody that's available from the farm team,
Right.
and not play them for the most part.
That's true.
But anyway, I'm gonna kind of buy that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it too.
So that's a double buy.
I think it would be a Boston thing. Like I think it would probably have to
I think
do
he
with
gets to go to Boston.
Boston series.
But what if they lost like 14-2 today? Wouldn't someone finally say, "All right, this is crazy"?
Well, also if they
We gotta
lose
do
today, they've
something"?
lost 6 in a row. If they lose today.
And like firing John Schneider, that's
doesn't
just,
do anything.
That's just to show, we're interested and we're doing something. They're probably just going to put Mattingly in for the rest of the year.
Because I wrote a note here about that. I don't want him as manager.
So, well, they usually do that for the rest of the year. We're going to have him temporary.
Yeah, but think about that. That's what they did. That's what they did with Schneider, and then they gave him the full-time job.
Doesn't change anything.
No.
This management team on the field would be the same anyway. It may be better, because one thing I'll say about Schneider, and I was watching last week, and it was Spencer Horowitz on first, was leading off, pitcher threw over, he was called out.
Right.
Replay showed he was safe.
Right.
The Blue Jays dugout indicated to Schneider that they wanted to review it, and he did the hands thing.
Oh, because it was too late.
But it was not within the 15 seconds, so they were not allowed to challenge.
He was too late.
That, for me, was the moment someone somewhere in that organization should have said, we are full of ineptness in our management, field management, everywhere. We have to make changes. You can't even get a challenge out of the dugout in time.
Yeah, everyone's mad at him now because of what he said about Springer. He's on the verge of getting hot. People don't like that either.
He just says that. Listen, can you imagine if that was a playoff game and he
That would've been-
he couldn't get the replay challenge
Could
out,
you
which he would have
imagine-
won because he was clearly safe.
Yeah.
Now, the next inning, I can't remember who they were playing. The other team came up, and I think they scored 4 runs.
I think it was Boston.
And I said to my wife, none of this would have happened if they had that challenge out.
Oh, yeah.
But they couldn't get the challenge out of the dugout in time. I've never seen that. But someone should have had a little light bulb come on and say, are we in good hands on our field management side here? I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're both buying that one?
We're both buying that one.
We think there's going to be a managerial change sometime this week. That's what we're saying.
We do.
Okay, we'll see.
Not that
If
it's gonna
not, we'll have to
change
skip
anything.
next week's show.
No. Not that it's going to change anything from the front office.
Wouldn't change a
but
thing. So that was number 1. You want to go to number 2?
I do.
All right.
Francais.
Ah oui. Les Blue Jays, hein? Les Blue Jays, hein?
Buying or selling?
Wait, no, I'm going to finish this.
All right.
Go ahead.
The Blue Jays will be sellers at the trade deadline. And I'm going to go first here because he just went first on that one.
I will give you permission.
All right, thank you. I just wrote one thing. If Atkins and Shapiro are still here by the trade deadline, which they're definitely probably going to be, no way. I don't see them selling anything. Like he said publicly.
That's the selling.
Yeah. He said publicly, like, it makes no sense for us to trade him, even though it does. Now, again, what is he going to say? Like, he's not going to say they're going to trade him, but still. If they're here, that nothing's happening with this team.
Buying or selling, the Blue Jays will be sellers at the trade deadline. I think we have a little bit of a problem right now. And the
You
problem-
think?
Not for the problem is Blue Jay home games are still being well attended.
That is the problem, yeah.
So if you hoist up the white flag to surrender this year, you've signaled to the fan base that you're not in it, you're not making a run at it, the team isn't very good, we're going to start a rebuild or a retool, whatever you want to call it. The concern is those fans that are going through the gate and providing all the revenue and buying all the jerseys and the beer and the hot dogs, those numbers start to dwindle, right? And I don't know, because it's not about the baseball anymore.
No.
It's about the experience and the money that you can derive in revenue from giving fans that experience. I think they're in a tough spot. I think they want to make changes, but you don't want to say to the fan base, stay home now, we're done.
Yeah.
Now, if you've ever watched a telecast, most of those new places that they've put in the Rogers Center, you can't see the game from there anyway. There are all these bars that are nowhere near the field.
Yeah.
No one's watching the game.
All the
so-
new renovations are just bars, it looks like, just alcohol.
Yeah, and not really. Like, there's some you can stand up and watch from.
I think there was like a
from
kids
outfield.
area. But other than that,
But
like,
most of the tables I saw them at was like being at a bar downtown, and no one could see the game, and no one cared about the game.
no,
They were
no one
down
cares.
there with their friends,
No.
having a good time. So maybe they should open the Rogers Center
got a
7
bar
days
up-
a week as a bar.
Yeah, they got a bar up in the 500 level.
I think they are in a tough spot because they don't want to push fans out the door,
No,
and I don't know.
but I mean,
Now, if I was using my smart hat, not my smart hat, but if I was being logical,
you're Bryson DeChambeau.
you have to be sellers.
You do.
But here's the question: who are you selling?
Vladdy and Bo.
Okay, that would be about it. Because, well, Jansen maybe.
Yeah, probably.
You're not
Jansen.
getting anything for Justin Turner.
You're not getting anything for Springer.
You might get something for IKF,
Yeah, but he's like the only good one you have.
but who cares? You're getting rid of everything
That's
you're selling.
true.
You're not getting anything for Springer, especially with the contract.
Speaking of Springer, he has a 566 OPS right now.
Okay, you're being negative.
I'm pointing
You're
out
being
stats.
negative.
I'm pointing
Sorry,
out
Nana.
stats.
I tried.
Listen,
I tried.
I'm sorry, but I can't help but not be negative about this front office. And
You
this,
get some, like the Blue Jays need to retool and get some prospects, because if you're wondering about what the future looks like for the Blue Jays,
it's nothing.
they've brought it all up.
Yep.
Addison Barger, Spencer Horowitz,
Orelvis Martinez.
Orelvis Martin. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we have.
The
on
only
farm.
one left
the
is
only one left down
Ricky
there
Tiedemann.
is Ricky Tiedemann, and he's a starting pitcher who apparently can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
So
that's
not
not
a good sign.
Yeah.
So something has to be done, because publicly, Mark Shapiro scolded Alex Anthopoulos
He did.
back in the 2016, saying he sold the future.
And also, you could sell Dalton Varsho. He's hurt now, but probably. But
Well, I hope the Blue Jays ask for the same thing the Arizona asked.
the Arizona, yeah.
We want your number one prospect in baseball and someone else on top of that for Dalton Varsho.
Yeah, I mean, that's. But yeah,
There's not a lot there, but they have to restock the farm, because the Blue Jays are not competitive now in the short term, and if they don't address or prioritize the draft and get some prospects, it's going to be a long time before the Blue Jays
But-
are competitive in the American League East.
you can't rebuild the team with the same people that already rebuilt it.
No, you can't.
That's the problem.
That is true. So
I'm selling it.
we're both selling that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on to statement numero 3.
Trois. Francais.
This is the last one, is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay, because we're 19 minutes in already.
Yeah.
I can't get you to shut up today.
Really?
Really?
Buying or selling?
Uh-huh.
Bo Bichette has played his last game with the Blue Jays.
No, I hit the wrong button.
Selling.
I think he's being traded.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think he's played his last game. He's on the IL right now. And the rumor is the Dodgers are interested because they don't have a shortstop right now. I think he comes back to play a couple of games first, and he's probably a trade deadline move. The Dodgers aren't going to... I can't see any team making a trade for an injured player, because you don't know what the injury is and how it might affect you, and how do you value that player. But I do believe Bo is out the door.
Really? Because, I mean, maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking at the whole team wrong, but I don't understand. For me, it all comes back to the GM, and he believes in them, those two, and I don't know if he's going to actually do anything with them.
Well, there's a whole bunch of layers here, right?
Yeah.
I would hope that if we're going on a rebuild or a retool, Ross Atkins is not the guy to do it.
No, because you can't
Because
rebuild a team you already built.
You built this mess.
Yeah.
So you've proven that you can't build a winner. So there's a whole bunch of layers there, but you're asking if I'm buying or selling it. So I'm going to sell that, because he's going to play a few more games, but I think he's gone trade deadline.
I don't know about that, but
I'm probably wrong, but
I'll sell that.
for the sake of the excitement and the entertainment value of the show, I'm going to take a controversial stance.
The only team that could see getting him is probably the Dodgers. That's true. It's the only team I could see that would make a play for him.
Yeah, well, other big market teams that might want a shortstop, like shortstops are especially one that can hit.
And yeah, well, Bo can't hit this year.
Well, that'll turn around.
And he would not be unhappy in the least to go to the Dodgers.
You think?
I mean, Biggio is probably over the moon right now.
Seems like the life for him,
Yeah.
right? The long hair flowing on the beach.
Yeah.
I think that would be the perfect setup, and he'd probably be one of the best hitters in baseball again.
But I don't say they're going to get rid of Vladdy.
Again, it comes. The layers are
layers.
who's making the call, because anyone that came in here with an objective view and not a Ross Atkins view would say this hasn't worked for a number of years. Vladdy has hit 8 freaking home runs, and I think he has 32 or 33 RBIs. We're almost halfway through the season. Last year was no better.
Look at Jose Ramirez. Look how many RBIs he's got and home runs.
What is it we're waiting for with Vladdy? He has a nice new haircut. That was exciting.
Yeah.
That was probably the most exciting thing he's done this year.
Yeah.
Is cut his hair. So I don't know, why are we hitching our wagon to Bo and Vladdy? It's been since 2019
19.
that they were called up as full-time starters.
19.
That's 5 years. How much longer do we wait? Are you going to put $300 million into Vladdy?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I got to get more caffeine.
Seventh
in me 'cause I'm
highest
getting
payroll.
a little bit hot.
Sorry, Nana.
Go ahead.
7th highest payroll in baseball.
$230 million, and they're 6 games under 500. Ed Rogers must be saying, this doesn't make any sense to me. We're spending
know if he cares.
$230 million, and we're not getting, well, again, it goes back to what's coming into the ballpark and the revenue. It makes sense from that side. They're getting 35,000 fans a night. That's good for them.
But somebody put a tweet up yesterday about, hey, like they tagged Rogers. You're like, hey, Rogers, imagine how much money we could be making if we were actually winning. You'd have a lot more fans and there'd be a lot more money.
That is a fact. The goodwill that goes along with a successful Toronto Blue Jays team in Canada is out of control. When back in the Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion era, when they were fun to watch.
They were fun to watch.
And they walked around with a lot of swagger, and every team hated them.
And that's another thing, too. Like,
but I'm not done my point.
I'm sorry.
Why do you jump all over me? If I could reach across this table. But the goodwill that Rogers receives nationally. Rogers has a brand when the Blue Jays do well. And you can see when they do well, everybody hitches onto them. Mary Brown's hitched onto them. A&W hitched onto them. Right? TD Bank hitched onto them. WestJet hitched onto them.
they got TD on their sleeve.
Yes. But all of that is about to go into the toilet.
Yeah.
Because the team, unless they make some drastic moves, is not going to be competitive for the foreseeable future. Do you have another point to make?
One more.
Go ahead.
Wait,
no, I'm going to jump all over you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Wait, no, I just had a thought. Go ahead.
Back when, like yesterday when the Blue Jays were down 7-0, back in the Donaldson era, if they were on 7-0, you didn't stop watching because you knew that they were going to come back because of how good they were and
That is
how
true.
well they were playing.
But now,
if
the Blue Jays get down 1-0 after one inning, you turn off the TV
it's
because you know
over.
they're not coming back.
It's over.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's move on because we are long today.
We are long.
Couldn't get you to shut up at all.
We couldn't cut any of it out, though. We needed to say that.
We're on to the weight loss challenge.
We are.
And you got on the scale on Thursday.
I did.
I was there and witnessed it.
Yep.
You, sir, were?
Down 2.8 pounds.
Down 2.8 pounds. That was remarkable.
It was.
Now, I can report happily that I am down this week 0.4 pounds, but you sabotaged me again, you little son of the badge. What do you mean I sabotaged you, Dad?
Oh, the bigs.
Yeah.
That's
You know I weigh in Fridays. Dad, let's go out for supper on Thursday night for the end of school celebration.
Mind you, you were the one who suggested it.
No, you said to Biggs. I said to Keg.
No.
I could have had a nice healthy steak. But anyway, that's it. We went to the Bigs. I didn't eat too badly. I had a few nachos and I had I won't comment on the meal.
If we went to the Keg, you would have had that Billy Miner pie.
You would have.
And you would have
But
had
you
it
didn't
too.
care because you had already weighed in that morning. But I had to weigh in the next morning.
You
So
were
for me
right.
to get on the scale after the Bigs, and if you've been to the Bigs, when they get you a soft drink, now I had a diet.
It's a
Pepsi.
massive.
It's like a 2-liter bottle each time. And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I had 1.5 of those. So I was kind of full when I got on the scale the next morning. But I was down 0.4 pounds, which probably would have been about 10.4 pounds. But you sabotaged me again. You sabotaged me again.
You brought up
Not
the
gonna
whole
happen next
idea
week.
of
Not going to
supper.
happen next week, boy. That's it. So I got to find our outro music. That was fun, though, hey?
Yeah.
So we're going to hit the driving range this afternoon.
We are.
Work on the old swing.
We are indeed.
All right.
So thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. We'll be back. If you found us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and comment. We'll be back in the middle of the week for the Would You Rather.
All right, we'll see you later.
See you
Coffee
later.
was really good this morning. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.